Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDemUtd podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. And this is the first ManDemUtd podcast after Ruben Amorim's Ruben Amorim's first game in charge, people. So the first one after a Ruben Amorim, a Manchester United game. So we'll be discussing that. Ipswich Town 1, Manchester United 1. Amorim is not a miracle worker. It's not the chef. It's the ingredients. So of course, we'll be discussing the players as always. But get your questions in. You can agree, disagree. That's absolutely fine, people. And we'll be looking ahead to the Amorim's first two home games. First two games at Old Trafford. Obviously, the first one being against Bodo Glimt in the Europa League, and then his first home Premier League game at home to Everton on Sunday. But run up the likes. First and foremost, hit the like button on the video. If you're watching this live right now or watching this back after, make sure you hit that like button. Share across all of the socials as well, people. Also, make sure you do that. Why is my name not on the screen? This is terrible. Why have they just taken the ish off the screen? What is going on? Boom, we back. There we go. Boom. That's me, Flawless. That's Sarcasm City TV on Twitter and Instagram. So retweet and like on both, people. Follow at Sarcasm City TV. Follow at That's Me Flawless. Again, retweet and like from the Twitter, share from the Instagram. And just as important, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV. And when you do, make sure you hit the notification bell as well, people. More of the gang will join. Got the young G in the building, Nero. Yes, Nero, what are you telling me, man? You good?
Yes, bro. What you saying, man?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Everything good with you, yeah?
Yeah, bro. We here, man. We there.
Yeah, man. Amorim, man. So we'll get into all things Amorim when it comes to Manchester United. Big up to Warrior J in the cut. Has been kind enough to drop some comments from Diego Dallo. So we'll get into those. Let me start those right now as we speak. Big up everyone supporting as always. Big up to Lucian. Big up Sheik. Make sure you subscribe to Sheik TV. No worries. Yeah, Warrior J. Of course, we'll get into the 1-1 in the game. 1 second. Let me see what Diego Dallo's saying here. So let's get to these comments. Look at these hella interviews. Diego Dallo and Amorim. We will speak on Monday. We will do the recovery and speak then. I felt comfortable. I've played on the left for a couple of times now, and the system is good for this club. I've played with 3 centre backs before, which he has. His messaging was really clear. Like I said, we have to give credit to him and his staff for all the information they gave us. It was really clear to us. And obviously now we will take some more training sessions and games to put into practice. The players are thinking about, this is Amorim now, the players are thinking about it too much because things are so different. Some details, they used to pass the ball and go forwards. Now they have to go back. These types of things, they have to think too much. Dalot used to do it. He would pass the ball and then go inside and play in midfield. Now he has to stick to his position. People, these players are just being coached. That's what it is. They're being coached, and I'd like you go in a second there, or they're being coached, and now they actually are given clearer instructions, like Dalot mentioned. And you can see them. The manager said after the game they're thinking too much. That's why we didn't get the quote-unquote manager bounce. Because you know why you normally get a new manager bounce when a manager comes in? Because everyone's miserable. Everyone hates the manager. We're performing bad. The crowd's on your case. He's gone. You can just go out there and play freely and express yourself. That's what Ruud did. That's why Ruud got a new manager bounce, because Ruud didn't give no new instructions. He played Casemiro next to Agati and then played all the same players, but it was nothing tactical. Whereas you can see Amorim here is trying to apply something. He's trying to put tactics in place and clear instructions in place, like Dalot said. And that's what it is. And we applied them in the game. The problem is now the execution. But yeah, go on, De Niro. Thoughts?
Yeah, man. I watched the game on Sunday. I was watching it. I didn't get to watch it deeply, but I tried my best to watch as much as I could, taking what I could. Yeah, man, I think I like what I'm seeing. Like, I like that there's something that we can take into the next game. You know what I'm saying? Because even when people are talking about the build up and stuff, and in and out of possession, I'm seeing things that, okay, we can do this in the Bodo Glimt game. It's just personnel. You know, like, for example, Johnny Evans, when Johnny Evans was there, left centre back. In this system, you need to be able to kind of push up. You need to go high. That's how you squeeze them in. No, wait, pause.
Hey, yo. Go on,
bro.
It
It's
is
so
that.
hard.
Yeah, just carry on, man. It's cool. Don't worry. Don't worry
Bro.
about it. It's all good.
But that's how you trap them in, right? So
Yeah, 100%.
when the players high, you like it's sort of man to man as well in certain situations so that's where AMORIM would want to go man to man. So the Evans can't really do that job at the left center. So we need maybe like a Luke Shaw, someone who should be more comfortable going up the pitch and picking up a player and going man to man. So listen, like I don't know what people were expecting in terms of when people are like, we're gonna slap Ipswich. I didn't think that, I thought
No.
I just needed to see something that I can understand. And like he said in interviews, he said, yo, we're gonna see an idea. And that was the main thing. I saw, how he wants to defend.
Absolutely.
And with time, things are gonna get better. So I mean, this is the reason why we wanted Ten Hag out, because we wanted something that we could build on. You know what I'm saying? And with Ten Hag, I never ever got to see something like that. So I've seen people complaining. It's like, bro, come on, man. Like,
people go complain, man. You know what it is, man. You know why people go complain for various reasons. One, because some of them love Ten Hag and didn't want to be wrong about it. Two, some people still love, a lot of the fan base still love these players and they're just getting exposed. And three, a lot of people got gassed and word to Nuruddin giddy and thought we was gonna go there and batter Ipswich 4-5-0. Like, no, it don't work like that. But I don't know if it's FIFA, I don't know if it's Football Manager that people think it's a switch. I don't know what it is.
And they can just hit simulate and then bang. That's not football. It's not football. Like, things take time, like the guy's on the training ground and he's teaching these guys. Like, it's completely new information. So, and like you said, they were overthinking it at times. So it's gonna take time, but he was saying things like, we have to win time. I like that. You don't just get time for no reason. You have to show me something where I can buy into and say, okay, cool. With time, this is gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the season, the system would be in frameworks already. It would be there, because, and like I said, to put a style of play, you can put a style of play in a training session. And one training session, we were able to see,
yes, absolutely,
off the ball and on the ball what he wants to do. People are trying to tell me, oh, Ten Hag needs more time to implement his style of play. You know what I'm saying? He's still finding his style of play. What do you mean?
Nonsense.
20 games, 2 seasons in, still trying to look for his style. What is that even? I'm flawless, bro. You know when you go on Football Manager, yeah, because you said football. So I want to make it easy for these guys.
Yeah.
When you go on Football Manager, yeah, one of the first things you do is you pick a fucking style. You pick a style.
Absolutely. Anytime I take over a club, before I even get to the squad and the players, I put my formation in place. But before I even get to the squad, in regards to who I'm going to sell, who's going into the reserves, etc., I put my formation and my tactics in. I do that first and foremost. Then I get to the actual squad. Basics. And we legit watched AMORIM do this. He had 2 sessions. And I could already see, I almost had tears in my eyes. I could have cried. I already seen him implement his style. You mentioned Johnny Evans. You know what's the crazy part about it? That's not Johnny Evans' game. You mentioned about the left-sided centre-back going high up, and I watched that repeatedly. I watched Johnny Evans be in their half repeatedly. I watched Mazarawi as the right-sided centre-back do the same thing. And you know what was crazy? It almost brought tears to both eyes, not just one. I almost cried, just tears of joy. Luke Shaw replaced Johnny Evans and did the exact same thing. 2 different profiles, 2 different levels of centre-back, 2 different things, and Shaw's more suited to that. But I watched Johnny Evans do a certain job and do certain things throughout the game. Then I watched him get replaced by Luke Shaw, and Luke Shaw do the exact same thing. I watched Mazarawi, who's right-sided centre-back, do the exact same things. I watched us press high repeatedly. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. What I like about it, though, is, yes, we need to execute it better. The application was there. Yeah. I could clearly see off the ball what Manchester United were trying to do from the first second to the last second. On the ball, I seen exactly what we were trying to do from the first second to the last second. I watched this. I seen it. And I'm just like, love this. Yes, like I said, the execution wasn't at it, but It's a start. It's baby steps. And this is what I've been explaining to people. Was the performance good? Don't get misunderstood. No. It wasn't a good result, people. It wasn't a good performance. It wasn't a good result, but it was an improvement. As you see the goal we scored early, we tried to score that goal throughout the game.
Yeah.
It just broke down. But that was the aim. That's how we was going to score. And the amount of times we isolated them one-on-one in the final third, whether it's Garnacho, whether it's Rashford. So the applications there, it's about the execution. Big up to Eddie in the cut as well. Yes, Eddie, what are you saying, fam?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, that Kennick just dropped, so we going crazy on the West Coast. AMORIM out here doing the Lord's work, diagnosing the problems. It's a good time, man. It's a good time.
Yeah, like serious for real. I'm just reading the comments and that, like, you lot just already some people talking rubbish to Rasmus Højlund, who says we didn't win. Well, no, I thought we won the game. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does this have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with nothing. Again, you lot just gotta stop attention seeking in the chat. If people attention seek, I'm just gonna start blocking people. I'm just letting you lot know now. Go on.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, is also as well, a lot of people were saying, oh, like, you need players to play your style. Of course, you need players to play any type of style, right?
Absolutely.
Like, and you need designated, you need specific players for certain roles and whatnot. But the good thing is that if the frameworks are in place, the system will show that player out. So, for example, with the Johnny Evans thing, the quality wasn't there. The quality wasn't there in terms of what we needed him to do. But he still tried to do what that position is meant to do. That makes sense.
Yes.
So the only thing is that the quality will get worse if you have injuries and stuff like that.
Yes.
Players are out of form and things like that. But like I said, I'm just happy that the frameworks are being built.
Yeah.
Once the players start to get familiar with the system, then that's when we can start judging them even more harshly and saying, okay, you know this by now, you know your job, and you still don't know how to, you're still not performing. Is it you don't understand? Because there's only a certain amount of time before we can stop giving players excuses and saying, oh, you know, he's still learning. Of course you're still learning. You learn every day. But there's going to become a time where it's like other players have picked up their roles and certain players haven't picked up their roles, and you're messing up the pattern. And that's how we will end up losing games this season. I see that happening because look at players like Ahmad, for example. The manager highlighted that Ahmad picked up the defensive side very well. And that's not something we associate with his game. But if you look at his attributes, very good physically, good off the ball, actually. And he fitted that right wing back role for that day. It's not to say that he's going to keep playing there. I hope not, because I think he's better further forward. But
absolutely,
he's a player that AMORIM knew, okay, he can pick up information. I would rather play him at right wing back than a Garnacho, because Garnacho, he doesn't have that defensive side to his game. He's chaos. You can see it. The decision making is very poor, bro.
And chaos.
So, it's chaos, bro. And so it's like, I would rather, okay, cool. He's used to attacking more. Let's just put him up there. Put him up the pitch. Over time, players will get phased out. And listen, I'm very, very happy. So I'm not gonna sit here and start complaining, saying this and that. Like, this is what I wanted to see. I want to see results as well. That's part and parcel. He knows that AMORIM as well. Like, he knows that, you know, he has to win. But yeah, man, it's looking good so far. Just hopefully we don't get embarrassed. That's my only thing.
Brother. It's not, AMORIM don't got nothing to do with this, man. Anybody saying he does, they lying to y'all. We know who the suspects are, man. These are serial, habitual line steppers, homie. We know exactly who was the reason. We know exactly who's the reason we didn't go out with the dub on Sunday. Number one, Mr. Alejandro Garbaggio. You, my friend, had an absolute world-class stinker, and that's been the only thing consistent about that brother this year is the amount of world-class stinkers that he's put on that pitch. When Flawless was talking about the execution, right? I can easily remember at least 2 instances where he takes one too many touches instead of playing the ball to somebody else.
One was the Rashford one, wasn't it? When he was down and when he was running into the box and he took too many touches, and then there was a few others. Go on, carry on.
There's a few other ones. There's one off of a corner where the brother is so slow because he can't dribble. That's what allows the defender to catch up to him. He cannot dribble.
He can't.
People. That right there, like I saw Ipswich had a bunch of good chances. But if Garnacho just does his job that the manager laid out for him, we have, I think, the same amount of clear-cut chances as Ipswich does in that game.
Probably.
But the problem is we can't even get there to the execution part. Second brother I got to talk about, Marcus Rashford. People told me reclamation project. People told me, oh, give him time. This manager knows what he's doing. His instincts with his back to goal are absolute shit. Shit. He could not play. He could not connect with the 210s. And maybe it's United's fault because we've been playing this stand of scrub-ass football that he doesn't understand what it takes to actually be a striker. But
you can tell Eddie's had enough, yo.
Oh yeah, yes, brother.
This scrub-ass football, yo.
It was glorious. I'm seeing my manager actually trying to play football.
Yo, tears. Sorry to cut you off, Eddie. Tears. People were like, why are you not like? Obviously, I was disappointed about the result, but like, why have I taken positives? Because I watched our manager actually implement a style and tactics.
Yeah.
I could clearly see. I didn't need no breakdown. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need someone in the chat talking rubbish, telling me, or someone trying to gaslight me on the live stream talking about what the manager's doing. I seen it in 2 minutes. I seen on the ball and off the ball exactly what we was trying to do. It's a start. That's why I said the execution wasn't good enough overall. That's why it was a poor performance. But yeah, the execution, but the application was there. We applied it. We was trying it like again and again and again throughout the game. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's the best thing, right? And it's just like everything that the manager could touch. Pause. He did, right? Like he actually, when you look at our shape off the ball, and then you look at like when they mapped out the positions of everybody during the game, you saw the structure was set. So what that shows me that is in 2 days, this man has implemented a structure that looks actually respectable on the pitch. There's no big ass gap in the middle of the pitch where we're involved. It's not just, your attackers and then you got to walk 3 miles to see a midfielder or your defense. Like,
then you got to walk 3 miles.
That gap is crazy. It's beautiful, dog. It really is beautiful. And so you can isolate the scrubs because they stand out. That it stands out glaringly that they can't play football. Now, there's 2 that he had to find out the hard way. Them brothers' legs is cooked like barbecue, and that's Erickson and Johnny Evans.
Yeah, they can't play no high intensity pressing game. I hear you.
No, man. I felt bad. I felt bad for Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
I'm sure every time he turned around and he saw Amari Hutchinson around, he had a little N-word slip, like, goddamn, this I got to do something with this. Right, just turned around, seeing Amari just going crazy. So, yeah, man, the game was cool. I'm telling you, man, I was going through it.
No, he's a baller. He's a baller.
Yeah, he's a baller. Yeah. He's a baller.
Yeah,
you know what? That thing is, he could have easily have been like, right, Johnny Evans can't do that. Let's just drop the back 3 and play deep. But he didn't. He continued with it, even if it was to the detriment of Johnny Evans. And you see Luke Shaw, because he's more mobile than the Johnny Evans, actually do all right in that role. And imagine when we actually get a left-sided centre-back who is even better equipped to do that role. Mazraoui did all right on the other side. And imagine then you put him at wing back and Diallo in the 10, etc. But go on, carry on, Eddie.
Yeah, and I think, hey, man, Shout out to that connection made in Africa. Shout out to my real Africans, Mazwawi and Ahmad out here doing the Lord's work. You feel me? It was beautiful to see for the first goal. The first goal was so fucking beautiful, dog. When was the last time we scored a goal that easy? Where you just play a pass for a tap in. When was the last time? And it was crazy, bro. But
a team goal though.
A team goal.
It
and
was
you see the linkage in play.
Team goal.
I would say with the goal, and this is just me being fair, I think the first part of the goal where was it Bruno Bruno made that pass inside to Ahmad, and then like I can't remember, it was like a chain of movements, because in training like you have them man doing the passing and following your pass. I kept on seeing that around the pitch. I even saw Dallo would pass the ball inside and he would make the run out to receive the ball. It's simple patterns. I'm seeing repeatable things. But with that goal, I would say for the first bit where he was able to get through and beat like two players, that was good. And then the rest was, I would say, individual brilliance, to be fair.
Him driving down the line.
Yeah, driving down the line and then beating two players. I think it was a bit of an individual thing, but
here's the thing, bro. Yeah. Here's the thing. That putting him in a position to be brilliant, right, on repeated occasions.
Yeah.
Right. It was sometimes Ahmad got caught up, sometimes he did it, right? What I'm saying is the system put him in the position to make that play. Usually when it's something like a brother just carrying the ball down the pitch, right? It's something was breaking down, of course, but to understand his talent and say, okay, you know what? I don't think we have any other than who's the healthiest right wing back we might have, like Anthony. I guess he wasn't sold, right? Like again, to put Ahmad in that position, I understand it because he's the closest thing to Quenda that we actually have when it comes to who could play that type of wingback role, right? But then he's also better, I'd say, in the 10. So
Diallo definitely. People have said that in the chat already. Diallo definitely. I think everyone is in a whole agreement. Everyone's in full agreement, I should say, that he needs to play in the 10. I think everybody's in full agreement.
Everybody sees it because again, I now that I can tell this manager is fully invested, right, in anything he does. So I can understand how he did not see these guys play all that much, and he might have had an idea of who they are.
Yeah,
but it's one thing for them to show you in practice. It's nothing to show you in the game.
But that's the thing, Eddie, bro. Like, he's coming into Man United with his own way of playing. Then he's gonna come in with, how do I say? He's gonna come in with what he knows of the players. He will have an idea, because Man United is a big club, so you would know even before taking the job. He would have known what players were there. He would have known, okay, I think I can do a job, and that's probably why he took the job. So he would know roughly the profiles of these players, not fully. So I can only think he's going off training. So he's probably going off training, and he hasn't had
I think some of the players weren't at the training sessions. I think he went with the players he's trained with. I think. Don't quote me on that though.
Majority of the players that played were in training, I do believe.
Yeah.
Had more minutes. And then like Ugarte, who came back from international. So he's like kind of looking at these games as a way to figure out who can do what. Because in training, this is the thing about training. Training is not a match, bro. You can do everything. Training is the preparation. There's so many different things about training that can't be replicated in a match in terms of the pressure from the crowd. So many different things. So a lot of the players that in training may look good. So like majority of these players are going to look good in training. Like they're professional footballers. You understand? But then in a game, you don't know that you could face certain players. You don't know, the situation is not replicated perfectly. So
exactly, it can change at any moment.
It can change, exactly. So he's gonna have to look at these players and think, okay, based off from what I've seen, who can do what. And that's why I said I don't mind him using the league as a measurement to figure out, okay, who can do what. Because he came in midway through the season. It's not to say go and lose the games, but don't go into the game thinking that all the pressure is on you having to win the game. Figure out who can do it, figure out who can't do it, figure out who can do what and that, and then from there you pick your squad easily. So I'll give it like a few weeks, and we're playing a lot of games in December, so we'll start to see the lineup shaping up. We'll start to see it shaping up, bro. And even with this system, it's like, I don't want to be harsh, yeah, but we're praising AMORIM for doing basics. This is basics, but because we've been starved of basics from previous coaches, not just Ten Hag, Oli. You can say Mourinho, but that era of football kind of transcended, I think. From when Mourinho left, I think football changed even more. It was changing, but it's changed
even more. Yeah, absolutely.
So, listen, man, we're just going to have to see. But there's a lot of players that are going to get exposed. You understand? And I'm quite happy because it's the players that I knew couldn't do the job. And there are players also in the system that I don't like, that are actually going to do well. Like, I think maybe Mason Mount could do the job that AMORIM wants, but it's not going to do it amazingly. AMORIM could just use him for now, and then end of the season we go buy someone, you know what I'm saying, to do that job even better.
And that's it.
But yeah,
and that's it.
Frameworks. I'm going to keep using this word, frameworks. Just put everything in place, and then things will just happen naturally. Things will reveal itself naturally, bro. That's where it is.
No, and you're spot on there when you mention about us praising AMORIM for doing the basics, and that's because we've been starved of it. And that's what it is. That's why I said tears in my eyes from what I was seeing. Like, off the ball, we was pressing the same way. Like, sometimes the press was disjointed, sometimes the press got beat, sometimes it worked, but it was consistent. It was constant throughout the game. Same way on the ball. We know about the lack of quality with some of these individuals. We know all about. We've spoken in depth about it on the show for years now. So that's not even anything. That's the crazy part about the response. People are like, oh, the players ain't. He needs better players. So did you have to see us play against Ipswich in a poor performance to get a poor result to figure out, oh, they can't play AMORIM system, these players? What system can they play? People really just talk for the sake of talking. Like they're saying something profound and they're not. And I get it from rivals to an extent. I get it from rivals running bants, running jokes. I hear that. I do the exact same thing, but it's more so from Manchester United fans. Oh, these players are terrible. These are the same players you were praising in the summer. Now, 3 months later, now they're terrible. So I know they've been this way. They can't do this. And we know that, but the manager has to get what he can out of them. Produce. You mentioned it there in regards to Mason Mount, if it's him doing the job, if it's a Luke Shaw, if it's a whoever, pick a player in whatever position to do whatever role. And one thing I want to say as well is that two things that are heavily being overlooked is one is playing out from the back. I thought we played out from the back much better. That's the best I've seen us on the ball play. I had zero issue throughout the game. Not once during the watch along was I like, we're moving it too slow. Go more direct. And that's another thing. We went direct at times. We went direct when it was needed. Even if your instruction is to play out from the back, sometimes it is, hey, you know what, the space just go direct. And that has to be done at times. And it keeps, there's an unpredictability to that for the opposition. And also the second half just being glossed over because we didn't create anything going forward. We had 70% possession in that second half. We kept the ball very, very well. Now, granted, we didn't do enough with it. But guess what? We had the ball. It's a start. I can't remember someone told me the last time away from home we had 70% possession and a half. I don't think we did it on
this is my biggest thing. This is my biggest thing, Chief. Like this is why. Like I hear we're praising AMORIM for doing the basics, but the best thing about that is if you do the basics, aka the small things, at a consistent level, you always will give yourself a better chance to win, right? Keeping shape, maintaining possession, pressing when it's right, pressing with structure. These are things that can severely make or break a performance, and that's the thing with us for the entire time that we've been asking for a manager to actually give us some direction, because we couldn't consistently do the little things. And when you consistently can't do the little things, that's when you open yourself up for the other team to be dangerous. Because again, you're not playing with any principles, right? Like, if I go, who's going to go and replace the space that I'm leaving? Little things like that. Like playing out of the back, bro, I'm with you. There were so many times where I saw Ipswich try to press us. And us making these 1-2 passes, us understanding where somebody was supposed to be, playing it into that space, and the other person taking the ball then on and then getting us out the danger. And so I'm watching this, and then I'm watching us fumble. I mean, not just lose the ball at the end, and I'm like, okay, beautiful. Because the movements and the structure was all there. Execution, people. The theme of this episode is a chef cannot make gourmet ingredients with prison style gourmet food with prison style ingredients. You want this man to make you gourmet food, and he's cooking out of a prison kitchen. It ain't gonna happen, Cap. It's not gonna work like that.
Bro, man's cooking in a kettle and that, bro. It's crazy.
He's out here making spreads. Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Yeah, and
what you say, Eddie?
big up,
you say,
big up,
Hideki?
Big up,
man. Every time.
Becky, please don't rain on my parade, my boy. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm trying to be
No,
positive. Please
no.
don't rain on my parade,
No,
bro.
no. You need to understand. It's positive until Garnacho had me sounding like Kendrick Lamar when I'm like, pass the ball to Rashford. Fam, I'm shouting Rashford's name like Kendrick shouting mustard, fam.
You see it.
I'm like, he's right there. What I said with AMORIM though, and you saw it on your watch along, Flawless, where I'm like, now I can blame the players. You saw the consistent patterns in just the few training. We all saw the consistent patterns, and we all saw the players were the reasons why the patterns weren't going through. It wasn't coaching this time. AMORIM is literally coaching these guys how to play football now. Yeah, you're coaching a team of footballers how to play football now. I heard what Troops was saying, and I have to say it, and I'll say it again. This is rehabilitation. Manchester United have been in a wheelchair for 11 years. All right? We've been in a wheelchair for 11 years, and we are trying to relearn how to walk. When you're trying to relearn how to walk, you want to know what's the first step? Crawling. That's the first step in relearning how to walk.
And I was like, we got to crawl.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
we have to start. We have to crawl now. We're in the crawling stage. So I'm watching us play, and I'm like, okay, there's the triangles, there's the patterns, there's the runs, there's the pass that needs to be made. Bruno Fernandes in a part of the game where all he has to do is pass the ball to Rashford. But Bruno Fernandes, as I told everybody, Bruno doesn't see the proper pass. As AMORIM called him out, you love to hoof the ball too much.
I thought he controlled it well as well. He didn't give him a free roll. I thought he did all right. Big up Ivorian and Sheik in the cut as well.
Big up.
Okay.
Wasn't it crazy hearing him diagnose the game and almost say everything that we've all been saying while we've been talking about this scrub?
Yo, it was magic.
Brilliant.
It was like when he's talking about Bruno wants to play the Hollywood pass type of thing. I'm paraphrasing it. It's like, yeah, we know this. And actually, I thought Bruno actually was decent. He didn't actually do that. He went out there giving souvenirs to the crowd. He actually played. He actually controlled him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what it was.
Do you know said we got marathon runners flawless. That's what he said. He said we got marathon. We need some intensity.
We do need some intensity. You know what I'm saying? My God. You know what I'm saying? You knew what time it
was this. Bruno didn't play. Bruno didn't play badly, but when you needed the pass from Bruno, Bruno Fernandes reverted right back to just Brunoing on the pitch. There's the simple pass right there to Marcus Rashford that would cut through their entire defense. Bruno doesn't see Rashford. Bruno sees Garnacho, though. But Bruno sees Garnacho.
Again, you mentioned it there, though, in regards to that's just him being him. I'm just glad that I'm just glad that he was out there for once playing in red. That was my main thing. He was playing in red. He got the ball and passed it to somebody else in red. You know what I'm saying? It's a start.
What I love about it is just this: is that AMORIM has let all of them know. He's literally told Bruno Fernandes, "You start that fuckery, you're going off the pitch, and I'm not picking you." Garnacho, what I love right now is he's giving these players emphasis now. So when I drop you, no one can come here and ask, "Yo, why is Bruno not playing? Did you see him last game?" Yeah, that's why Bruno isn't playing. Did you see Garnacho? Yeah, that's why Garnacho ain't playing. Did you see Rashford's performance? Yeah, that's why he's not playing. I want these guys to play themselves out this damn squad. That's what I want right now. I want, when everything is said and done, by the end of the season, we all know you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. That's all I want right now. That's straight up what I want right now from what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this brain dead fan base try to tell me about Xerxes, and I'm like, wow, the guy that's done more in 7 Premier League games than Rasmus Højlund did in 16 Premier League games is the guy you're telling me isn't good enough. You know, he has the same supply line as Rasmus Højlund, but everybody's going at him even though he's performing. Like, let's not get this twisted. Xerxes is performing with the same shit service that Rasmus Højlund was playing with. Yeah? Xerxes hasn't gone 0016.
I'm tired of them both, but I hear you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm literally tired of it. And what's something on that pitch that a lot of people never realized? For 20 minutes, AMORIM was shouting at Bruno. For 20 minutes on that pitch, AMORIM was shouting at Bruno Fernandes for wandering off like a headless chicken doing stupid presses. As I said before, Bruno does this so his sofa score rating looks good. Bruno knows how much to run to bring up his rating on sofa score so he can get a 7. Bruno does this. He always does this. On that pitch, when it was the midfielder, what was it? Casemiro was far forward, trying to close down a press, and Bruno Fernandes is running where Amad Diallo is. And AMORIM is pointing to the spot and telling him, yo, go back to where you're supposed to be. For 20 minutes, AMORIM was yelling at Bruno Fernandes.
I love that. Man was coaching. I love that. Before you carry on, though, Kaneki, yo, never going. You was going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say quickly, yeah. You see with Bruno, this is the thing. Like, Bruno, when he's not given that free role to do whatever he wants, yeah, I think his game is very, very limited. Like, good work rate, but on the ball, he's when he can't hoof it, we need him to play the reverse ball. He can't open up doors. He's not an architect, bro. He's not that guy. That's all I'm saying. And you can't play him in a 10 because I don't know what kind of 10 can't receive the ball in between lines. It's crazy.
Bruno Fernandes. You know what I'm saying? That's you there, bro.
But
to your point, yeah.
Touch.
I said we got a 10 who can't receive the ball in between the lines. You know, that is crazy.
Bro, he can't receive the ball in between the lines.
We have a 10 that can't pass, can't dribble.
Oh
he
my
can't
Lord.
dribble and is horrible and is just horrible. And his IQ is just horrible. No first touch, no passing ability.
So bad.
Can't dribble. That is what Man United have as a 10.
Yeah. So let's go on there. Carry on.
I think he's just wasted in terms of if you like Bruno is like a good player you bring off the bench. Like he's a good player if you bring off the bench. If you're trying to chase the game, him like Rashford, Garnacho, those guys are actually perfect bench because they're chaos. Like they're chaos.
You need some chaos from time to time.
Trying to make anything happen. So hoofing it and all of that. I'm here for that, but knowing when to do it. And this team was like we need to know when. The decision making is, like the manager said, is poor. Because even in your watch along, you watching the Southampton game, and we were saying, you were shouting, yo, 6'7" striker, go long.
Hit the ball long to the 6'7" center. It's an NBA center, man. He's a backup center. What are we talking about here, man? He probably do a better job than Nurkic for the Suns. Yeah, facts, man. He do a better job than Nurkic for the Suns. What we doing, yo? Kick the ball long.
There you go.
To the 6'7" center.
You've been watching.
They were trying to play out from the back. I don't mind that. I honestly don't mind that, because the whole point of playing out from the back is so that the players know what to do when building up. So they know what they're meant to do when building up. You know what I'm saying? They know where they need to be, and it just makes things easier in order to progress the ball forward. That's the whole point of build up. But when you've got a player, like Xerxes, for example, utilize him, bro. Someone like Oyland, utilize him. I'm not saying don't play out from the back. I'm saying, let's do it. But then in certain times, if he's open, play that ball long. Play that ball long sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, don't. Because Man United, they don't know how to play in congested areas. The players don't know how to play in congested areas. They looking for that ball over the top. That's the escape plan. Rashford, ball over the top. And when they can't do it, they have to use their brains and they have to think. They have to occupy certain zones. And it's like, they don't know how to do it, bro. So we're going to have to see. We'll see
what's what. Before we continue, big up Rhino in the cut as well. Hope you're blessed, Rhino, man. Hope you're blessed and everything. We're gonna get everyone's thoughts. But you lot, over 70 of you lot in the building, run up the likes, because the likes is way too low, man. We're only at 49 likes. Let's go up to 70 likes. Hit the subscribe button on the channel as well. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. And yeah, man, of course, man. Hey, it's fuck 10 hags from now to the end of the time. Them Instagram posts are gonna carry on till I run out of memes. That's what it is. Every week, every Monday. No matter what the result is that AMORIM has. I was gonna stop at 52. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm not gonna lie. I might be here 2 years from now. It depends. I don't know. But Ivorian, thoughts on
thoughts on?
I think froze.
AMORIM's first game in the drawing.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back. Yeah. But yeah, Ivorian, thoughts on the game.
As I said before, my title was new manager, same scrubs.
Love it.
Nothing's changed. Like you said before, the ingredients. It's not the chef, it's the ingredients. Do you know what? Yeah, let me just say the positives. The positives what I saw on Sunday was that there was a formation put in place. There was a system put in place where you can see something for the first time. Just like AMORIM said, you may not like it or you might like it, but you will see something. And we ended up seeing something. The 3-4-3 formation plays in their position, the back three as well. A more, I would say, a more congested defense line when it came to defending. We was compact as well. The only thing that I didn't like is the ID that was there, the players that were in there, the lack of finishing, the lack of creativity. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to certain players as well that shine within 2 minutes and went back to default factory settings, Mr. Marcus Rashford, we had another poor game despite the goal. I don't care. Bruno Fernandes through that whole entire game was atrocious. It was sad, you know. Yo, Nero, you're right. We got a number 10 that can't pick up the balls in tight spaces. You know, listen, Bruno, when it comes to you, and I'll say this again, guys, with no filter, I expect you to behave like Diddy when it comes to be surrounded by bare men and being able to maneuver in tight spaces. You know, I expect you to be like Diddy. You get me? No, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I'm number 10. I don't care. There's no Diddy in this. Behave like Diddy when you're surrounded by men. Find a way to maneuver in tight positions and get out of that situation, bro. Like, you're a number 10. You're a number 10. No, I don't care. Like, for how many years have we seen it from a number 10, our playmaker, our orchestrator? Bro, you couldn't conduct anything. You can't lead a pack of ants to a picnic.
You lot see the banner. Yeah, I'm saying you lot see the banner.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth. I don't know.
Look at what United is doing.
No. And you got Garnacho as well. The three stooges, Rashford, Bruno, and Garnacho. Unable to
Matthew will lava for that. You know what I'm saying?
They were a problem. But again,
carry
there's so much work to be done with Ruben Amorim, and he found out who the scrubs were. He just wanted to see it for himself. He saw it on TV and said, "No, they can't be that bad. It must be the manager." But I'm glad he saw it for himself that these men are scrubs. Yeah, they will never change. You know, they can't pick up the manager's instructions, where to be, and they will learn from that. Yes, it will take some time, but he will figure out who can play in his position, and who can do the job, and who can't. And he found out as well. And I'm glad he picked up Marcus Rashford's behavior. I saw Marcus Rashford at full time celebrating with Grant and smiling. Right next to him was the manager, Ruben Amorim. He was furious. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't in the same wavelength as Marcus Rashford. What are you smiling for? We drew. He was upset. He didn't want a draw. He wanted to win.
Of course.
But that game against Ipswich, I take it as a draw. You know what? I prefer a draw than a win. Do you know why? Because if we won, everyone be like, "Oh no, we're all right, you know, like these players are not that bad, you know, oh, like, you know, that kind of stuff." But now that we draw, we have something to work with. He can see the problems.
Thank you for saying that, Ivorian. Thank you for saying that. I said it, and I'm glad you repeated it. I'm happy that we drew, because what I want everyone to see for 85 minutes, that Libertadores lesbian on that damn pitch did nothing, yeah? That man did nothing. He stood there.
This guy's crazy.
Can't dribble. Head down.
And he's
Marcus
finished, Joe.
Rashford is running through on
And he's
goal.
finished,
All
Joe.
you have to do is play him through. No, that's not what you do. For 85 minutes, you're on that pitch. You did nothing. I'm telling you. Faz right now is running on a streak like the Undertaker.
Oh yeah, Faz was right. Here's my pushback on that though. Here's my pushback on that in regards to the draw and the win. I hear it from the fans' perspective, because fans always results-based analysis. If we win that game, everything's fine, all the players are fine. We don't need anybody. But now our attack is a problem because we drew the game against Ipswich. The manager has to see past that, despite the result. He's the most important one who can't do results-based analysis. And by what he said and the things he's done already in a short space of time, I don't think he would have been fooled if we win that game. Let's say that free kick goes in from Bruno right near the end. It was like 80 plus minutes, and we score that. I don't think he's jumping up and down about the performance. I don't think he's then blinded that these players are better than they are. So it's on the manager to do that. Like, win the games, of course. But it's on him. It's on him.
He didn't even celebrate the first goal.
Exactly. He didn't celebrate the first goal. He looked at it and just turned around.
Yeah.
When we scored that goal, you could see it on him. He was upset because during the pattern that led up to the goal, we made 4 errors. There was no help for Ahmad. That goal was completely Ahmad. Amorim was looking at it like Bruno didn't go to help Ahmad. Who else was in the midfield? Ericsson didn't go to help Ahmad. Ahmad was literally 2v3.
That's what I said,
to make
bro.
that goal. Rashford didn't even try to drop in as a striker to create an overload for anyone to run off of. No one went to help Ahmad. When we scored, you could see him looking at Ahmad like, "Yo, why did no one come to help you?" This man was asking, why did no one go to help? We scored. We're 1-0 up, mind you. And he's asking the players, why did no one go and help Ahmad during the creation of that goal?
Which ties in, adds into what I was saying in regards to him not being blinded if we win that game. By him not thinking these players are better than they are. Yes, of course, he's looking for results. Of course, he want to win the game, but performances matter too, because you're looking for some form of sustainability. And I think the manager, fans will get carried away with that, because we've seen fans do that. But I don't think he will get carried away by that. What are you telling me right now, man? Thoughts on the game, fam?
Yeah, man. Big up the man, as always.
Big up, man.
Yeah, man. You know, for me, I'm just chilled, man. I'm chilled. Obviously, I agree with what everyone's practically saying. Like, the draw kind of just more exposes the work that we need to do. But at the same time, Ruben just seems like a gaffer that just knows what he sees. Like, he's not going to be clouded by BS. You know what I'm saying? So I like what he said after the game. I like the way he broke down everything. Like, he broke down everything to a T, like with so much detail. And that kind of highlights the attention to detail that he has within football as well. So I'm just hoping that these players were picked based on fitness, and obviously he can just start to figure out who can do what. Because when I saw Ericsson in the midfield, I wasn't comfortable. I know obviously he's better on the ball. we need to retain possession in the midfield as well. But I wasn't really happy with that.
I think I think it was the flight. I think that's why, because he played in South America.
That's that's what I was saying. The fitness thing, innit? Yeah. And then even seeing Evans on the white and as the N3 as well, I was thinking, I was like, nah, man. But because obviously what we saw in training, this formation was set up a bit differently in terms of the personnel in it. So obviously, if we're using logic, it must be fitness as to why he picked these players. So man, I think for me, I'm just happy that everything he said, I don't think he missed out anything. He probably even said more because he's more of a trained coach in it. So he said everything. He knows every single thing that went wrong. Like Kaneki was saying, even the goal, he wasn't happy with the goal. You know what I'm saying? Probably Rashford's job was to go and hit the line and get in the box, and obviously, but the other players to support weren't there as well. So that's a big problem Man United have. There's our wingers and whoever it is, wingers, wing backs, or whatever, they're always isolated. There's always no one coming to help. Everyone's just running forward. So yeah, man, I'm just happy that he brought down the game well, and I saw something as well that he said something about he wants to do less interviews and just focus on the work on the pitch.
Hey, man,
which is good.
Welcome to Manchester United, man.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
there's always gonna be a camera and a mic in your face, man.
Yeah, it comes with it. You feel me? Probably they can reduce it though. They can reduce it because there's some extra ones.
They should reduce it. We need to focus on the game.
So focus on the game. So for me, I'm just liking this everything he broke down still. What do you say, Kaneki?
I'm saying AMORIM needs to do like Ferguson and just, I'll take the fine. I'm not talking to these guys. At this point, it'd be like, I'm not doing interview. I'll just continuously just take a fine. I'm not listening to this media. Because what they're asking him is like, how
ABC questions, like, it's so stupid.
Ask me about the game. Ask me about the game. What happened today? Stop asking me about things that have nothing to do with the game. So how are you finding the Prem right now? Motherfucker, I just drew.
Oh, Kaneki.
I don't give a shit about the Prem.
Kaneki, one more thing. Get started to interrupt you. Fuck that charity.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why they did that.
Because he's a blue-eyed white boy. He's a blue-eyed white boy. If that was Stormzy, it would be a way different reaction now, wouldn't it?
Wow, what did Ed Sheeran do? What did Ed Sheeran do?
Oh, he basically interrupted his interview at the end. So he was being interviewed by Sky, and then he interrupted, and then everyone was talking about it. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Then he apologized the next day, and it's like
he owns them. He owns Ipswich, innit?
No,
he's a minority.
Yeah, he's a part owner. Yeah.
Part owner.
Yeah, stakeholder or something like
that.
But
minority. Going back to what I was saying anyway. Yeah, man. Yeah, so generally, I just feel like AMORIM obviously just needs to start picking the players that he can trust. At first, obviously, just speaking in different group chats, hearing different people's perspectives, I was kind of thinking about the identification of the profiles he did pick. But I feel like he's allowed to kind of play around and mess about, and we kind of have a bit of credit in the bank knowing that he knows the ball, he knows the game. From what he said at the end of the game, you could just tell he knows. So I'm just waiting to see game by game the selections change, see different people do different things. I'm not really going to get onto like all the typical. I know we're upset with certain players and stuff like that, but I'm not going to really focus on that right now. I just want to see who he can get the best out of, and hopefully he can figure it out. And then when it starts to get like, what wing backs can actually play wing back. We're not going to have the best strikers, you know what I mean? But even someone was asking about Highland. Everyone's on me for my boy Highland, yeah. I know he's been...
we'll get to
I didn't know it was your boy. Whoa. We got cookies tonight. Someone bring the oil. Someone bring the vegetable oil. We're going to cook rhino.
Nah, do you know what it is? I'm not even sticking up for him, but it's just...
Let me explain something to you right now. What it is right now with Hoyland and these guys now? You saw in the game that we played, you saw those patterns of plays that was just going on, where all they have to do is just give the ball to the striker. Patterns of play, give the ball to the striker. Patterns of play, you see, what I want to see now is just how our strikers in him and Xerxes, how will they react now with this new line of service now?
For Hoyland and
Xerxes,
did you hear the manager saying that, Kaneki? Did you hear when the manager was talking about how Xerxes should be getting more in the box, and he spoke about that as well.
And 1000% I agree. But you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because the other dingbat that was here was using him like Weghorst.
Yeah, he's
the other guy was using
he's detrained his players,
like
bro.
Weghorst.
Yeah, he needs to because that is a major problem. Let me get to the super chat from Mike. Hey, Mike, big up for the super chat. Appreciate it. Says, not gonna lie, I'm struggling to remember how many times Garnacho has gone past his man in his United career. I seen Wan-Bissaka do it more than him. The thing is with Garnacho, he's just super limited, and we're seeing it. And he's a left winger, right winger.
He never has.
And then when now he's not. Not only is he not good in his actual position, he's now being asked to play a more difficult role that is more congested with more players around him. For anyone who plays football at any level, playing out wide is much easier to receive the ball, and you have much more space than playing central. If you play central, there's bodies around you. You have to have wing mirrors where you're receiving the ball on the left wing. You know where the right back is. The right back said that's easier. Whereas if you're playing central in the 10, could be the right back, could be a centre back, could be one midfielder, could be two midfielders. If they're playing at 6 and 2/8, it could be any of the three. Like, it's much more, and you got to receive the ball on the half turn, and you got less space to run into. And it's see ball, kick ball, chase ball. There's no space in there. You can't do that. You can't do that. Like in the 10, like Nero mentioned it about Bruno. Garnacho is even worse. No, because you're not even. At least with Bruno, you're accustomed to playing central. Like Garnacho is not even I don't think he's ever played central in his entire career.
This is the beauty of it, Flawless. This is the beauty of it. This is showing everybody who lacks the basic fundamentals of a footballer. Olise can play wide. Olise can play centrally. Sancho can play wide. Sancho can play centrally. Martial can play wide. Martial can play centrally. You want to know why? Because they have the fundamentals down. Your first touch is good. You are able to you are able to dribble. You have more than 2 brain cells. Let's bring that up. You have more than 2 brain cells. You actually know how to freaking think. Rashford is running
spoke
through
about
on
that
goal.
as well. He spoke about that.
Rashford is running through on goal. All he has to do, Garnacho, stop. Literally, cut in, stop, play Rashford through.
Yeah.
Xerxes would have done that. So much people would have done that. But you want to know why? In your mind, it's just meep. Kick ball, chase ball, kick ball, chase ball. That's just it. That's just it.
To Eddie, but I use that all the time. That's what it is. See ball, kick ball, chase ball, yo. That's what them man are.
To you right now? For
wait, you took Kaneki, you took out Roadrunner when you say meet me.
Yeah, that's what I said. Meet me. And at least the road, Kaneki, at least the Roadrunner did it with some pace. He had some direction. You know what I'm saying? The Roadrunner had direction. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, like, Roadrunner was cutting. I can't lie.
Yeah, Roadrunner, there was actually some vim. You know what I'm saying?
So for Højlund and Xerxes right now, I want to see what they look like right now at strike. I don't like Højlund. And I don't trust Xerxes how we're playing, because I've already told you guys what Xerxes, the type of player Xerxes would be before he came here. But with this new pattern of play that I'm seeing of just consistent, our strikers are now getting the ball to their feet. You know, like we're actually giving the strikers the ball now. Let me see now. Let me see this now.
Yeah.
So for the next. From now onto the transfer window, the summer transfer window, I can now judge our strike force. At least. So I'm not going to go in on Højlund and these guys as hard anymore, because I want to see we're seeing a pattern of play. We're seeing our players actually cross the ball into the box.
Yeah.
Strange, isn't it? The last time we used to cross the ball into the box was when we had Cavani.
Yeah, it's mad. And Mike, again, big up for the super chat. And yo, Sheik, you should have said I thought you was here. Otherwise, I went to you. I didn't know you was at work on your break. But you lot, make sure you subscribe to Sheik TV regardless as well. And Jez made an interesting point, because that's something that I think Amorim knew anyway. Before he even took a training session or a game, he was talking about the lack of physicality and just the lack of athletes in our team, which anybody with 2 eyes and a brain could see that what was lacking, and he said it. And Jez says, I think the biggest indication that United are looking for a big-time striker, if they can't sign a part-time one in January, indicates Xerxes and Højlund standard. But I think he looks at it and goes, these two aren't good enough for what I'm trying to do. With Xerxes, he's new. That's why I'm not completely being That's why I'm not being heavy with my criticism. Well, my biggest issue with Xerxes is I don't know what you are. Once you
He's
start
a 10.
falling into, once you reckon he's a 10. When you start falling
Yeah.
into that category, and I know you ain't go like this, Eddie, and I said this not at the same level, but he's looking very Jao Felix-ish.
I
He's
hear why
he's
you say
looking
that.
very
Yeah.
Jao Felix-ish.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, you're technically good, but what do you actually do?
What do you that's
What's your and Xerxes again? Like,
yeah.
he could get better. Yes, he's at age where we could, but at this moment in time, I'm looking at you. I'm like, what do you do?
Because
I'm giving him time. That's why I'm not selling him. Whereas Hoyland, like,
that's the thing. That's the thing with these kinds of players, right? At least he's a bit younger. So when you can do everything at a fairly high level, you have to find something to be extremely good at while you're good at everything else, right? Like, you can have a solid baseline of fundamentals, a high floor of fundamentals, but is it your shooting? Is it your passing? Like, when you get out there, what is it you're trying to do to help this team score goals? Because that's what your position requires. That's why I see he's a 10. I don't see, and I hate it, but it's an indicator. Like, I don't see the selfishness of a Rashford or a Garnacho, where your mind just goes to scoring goals first. Like, it's not natural. That's not how you naturally see football, right?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah.
And so if
and
you're
just
like,
before you carry on to Depadiah, I said this at the start, someone might have heard it. I'm not talking about their skill, I'm talking about profile. Of course, Jao Felix is the much better player.
Yeah.
Jao Felix is a much better player than Xerxes. I'm not talking about skill, I'm talking about profile. Because you know what? When I hear people compliment Xerxes and say what he's good at, it's very much Jao Felix. And then the criticism of Xerxes is very much Jao Felix. What do you like? Yeah. You can't just be out here looking good for comps. It can't just be all technique.
You can't.
You got to offer something more. And is he gonna get? And to be honest, is he gonna get game time? I don't think he gets game time. If we're saying he's a 10, you got Bruno there, you got Mano, you got Diallo.
I think Bruno's out the 10. I think he realized
Bruno's out the 10. You reckon Bruno's gonna play in the 6?
Bruno's out the 10. He gonna put him in the midfield.
All right, so be Mano and Diallo then.
Huh?
Mano and Diallo.
I think he'll get play time, but I think got somebody like Mano he'll put in the midfield. I think with Xerxes, here's the thing. It's the same thing we were always talking about with Sancho, right? Whereas, okay, maybe you're not the most explosive. But if I have a wing back who's bombing down, I have another 10 who's active, I have a striker who's active, I can be okay with that. But at the same time, those strikers and those wing backs have to be able to put the ball at feet. And it looks like he's drowning out there because he has nobody really to link with.
Yeah.
And so now that I think the manager will see his type of profile, like he has to coach him up. He talked about coach him up. Like, look, we're at the end of the match. We need a goal. Get in the box. Get on the end of headers.
Yeah.
Like he understands that Xerxes has to have that instilled in him because naturally he's going to look to recycle possession. Right. Yeah. Even when he subbed on and Garnacho was still out there, we still look better with the ball with the ball at feet. Like there was a glaring difference between the sides they occupy, what we were able to do. Right. So I understand completely what you're saying. That's why I never pushed back about the Jao Felix thing, because I'm like, bruh, how are you this good at everything, but you have not mastered one thing?
Well,
you haven't mastered one pattern that you can go to on a day in, day out basis that'll get you some kind of result. So, but here's the thing, Flawless. Whatever AMORIM says, I'm cool with it.
To you.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah. That's where I'm at with it.
If he says I don't want to see it, I don't want to see these brother play for me another minute. Okay, cool. Where we on this match?
I'm with you. I'm fully with you on that.
What it is?
Without that, go on, Connect.
What it is?
Yo, can you not hear that? I go around. I think I'm getting some feedback.
It's like a buzzing sound.
Yeah.
Mute myself.
Is it me?
Nah, it's Ivorian. Yeah. No stress, Ivorian. Pardon that. And then
Okay.
It's good. Go on.
It's like it's Griezmann all over. This is 2016 Griezmann all over. Griezmann has always been a facilitator.
I've compared Griezmann to Jao Felix. That's the craziest part. Yo.
Yeah.
Go on, as you
It's the Griezmann
and again,
situation
people
all
not in
over
terms
where
of skill. I'm not saying skill. I'm talking
No, not in
solely
terms of
profile.
skill. It's just
Not talking
Yeah.
skill.
It's just
talking
Don't you think
profile.
it's annoying that you like have to clarify that with the time? Like people are so ready to just say,
Yeah. Because people think I'm comparing. It's like it's a no-brainer. Like, of course, João Felix and Griezmann are much better than current Xerxes, and that's not how you tell me that. That's in general, but you have to.
Yeah,
or someone's like, I'm just saying, like in terms of it reminds me of that. Because João Felix is very much. I always say that, as is Griezmann. Technically, cold. Yeah. You just list their technical attributes. No, but
the thing with
there needs to be more.
Just this.
Well, go on.
Yeah, the thing is just this. Simeone is who made Griezmann aggressive. Simeone's coaching is what brought Griezmann to be aggressive, because Griezmann was just like these guys. It's passive in the way they play. You're a facilitator. Oh, I don't need to get into the box to try and score goals. My job is just to give the ball to these guys and let them score the goals. That's what Xerxes is. That's what Felix is. What you need is a manager to constantly. It's like how you rage train a bull. Just every time, just constantly poking at it. Yo, you need to be in the box. You need to be in the box. You need to be in the box. Get it into his head until it's burnt there. So every time when you see a player about to cross, he's now aggressive into getting into the box, because this is what it is now. It's now instinct. You're telling him, I don't need you to facilitate. I need you to score goals. Okay? When we have the ball, you can drop deep and play. But when you see the ball on the wing, go into the box. I don't need you in the midfield. Yeah. I need you in the box. This is what the coaching needs to be now. I don't need Xerxes trying to drop deep and play. Yo, we got midfielders for that now, brother. Yeah? I need you and the other striker. I need you guys in the box. So that is what it is. Griezmann, and how he became as aggressive as he is now, was thanks to Simeone constantly getting in his head, I need you in the box. I don't need you doing the pretty fandangles here. For France, Griezmann doesn't need to be in the midfield. Griezmann gives the ball to Pogba and immediately runs into the box. Gives the ball to Coleman, runs into the box. What I need from it now, from what he said now, I need Xerxes in the box. The next game Xerxes plays, I need to see that aggression.
Yeah, he wants more, like you said, the aggression, like direct move with a purpose. And you don't have to be quick to do that, but you can move with a purpose over 5 yards. Yeah, you can sprint over 5 yards.
Yeah, and as I'm saying, don't ruin your fundamentals. Don't ruin Xerxes' fundamentals. Let him continue to be the player that he is, like Martial. Yeah, play the ball, but you want to know what Martial was also good at? Getting in the box. If it's one thing we always know with Martial, he's in the box. So that's what I just need to see now from Xerxes. You've brought up the issue. Let me see it now. Let me see it now. Rasmus Højlund and Xerxes, positional indiscipline is their main weakness. Positional indiscipline. Let me now see in the upcoming games that get better. That's what I want.
I missed a bit of the second half as well. He played both of them, innit?
He brought them both on. That's what I like as well. He chased the game. He chased the game. I do like that. I do like the fact that
and he was better. He was literally better. There was a pattern of play where Xerxes got the ball from Casemiro, and Højlund didn't even look to see if Xerxes saw him. He just knew Xerxes. Xerxes knew he was there, and Xerxes had the ball and played through, and what was it? Okari intercepted it. So we're seeing it so far that those two have a little bit of chemistry, that they might know how each other play. Work on that now. That's what I just want to see now. I just want to see this now. Yeah?
I want to see both of them play sometimes, like at the same time. Like I want to see that. I want to see Xerxes being able to drop in and then find Højlund. Because when I've looked at Xerxes at Bologna, I think a lot of people are trying to make him into a player that he's not. Wait, am I lagging? Am I lagging people or not?
Nah, you're good. You're good, fam. You're good.
Nah, you're good. You're good. They're trying to. Everybody's trying to think he's Memphis the Pie. That's the thing. That's it. That they're trying to.
And you know what's the question is? Like you know what's crazy? He had the same issue. You gotta move with a purpose, and you don't have to be quick or electric to do that. But you have to have a stop start. You have to be able to go and Xerxes good enough to play 1-2s and give given goals, but it has to be with a purpose during that run. Like it's intent, and and I think technically he's good, but he's just too passive. But that can be changed, hopefully. Like, and him getting in the box. I was saying that's why I'm not writing him off completely, but I need to see the improvement. It needs to be a bit more just intent.
This is what happens usually, right? Like, I'll let you. My fault, Nair. I'm gonna let you go. I just want to say this one little thing.
Yeah, go on.
If you're a coach, you're either coaching it or you're allowing it. When a player's out there on bullshit, you're allowing it. When he's playing to your system, you've coached that into him. Xerxes has to understand that this idea of him being a project was only good when Ten Hag was involved because we knew you had a hindrance. Now this manager is here. He's going to have a clear set of instructions for you to abide by. If you do not abide by them, you will not play, and then you will be sold. You got it, Nero.
Yeah, bro. Literally, all I was gonna say was, my thing with Xerxes is just like people are trying to make him into a player that he's not. That's my thing. I think people look at him and they say, 6'4", yeah, target man. He should be a headache. But I've seen him at Bologna. I'm not gonna say I watched a lot of games. There was, bro. I even watched. I remember it was a Sunday morning. I watched a 0-0 Bologna versus Frosinone. I was watching this guy in games where people weren't watching him, and I was seeing what he was doing. I'm not saying that I watched him every single game. I didn't even watch a lot of him, but I was trying to get an idea of this player. For me, what I like about him is that he can turn on the ball. He is comfortable with the ball. He has a good first touch. He can link play. That's his game. But people want him to be this sort of direct, sort of like shoot first player. He's not that type of profile. So I just think with him, he will be able to show himself once the system starts allowing him to get on the ball a lot more. Because we were using him as like a target man. He's not a target man. You can use him as a pivot, but a pivot and a target man is not the same thing. When you feed the ball into him, someone like Ahmad and let's just say it's Garnacho or Rashford, those 2 10s should be able to play beyond him. When he has the ball, make that pass and move into the box. But the problem is he keeps dropping in and then he's not moving. And then not only is he not moving, but no one's finding him. No one's finding him in places where he should be receiving the ball. And then that's why he's taking the ball now and then shooting, ballooning shots over because he don't know what he needs to do. That's what I'm saying. And I think part of what Amorim was trying to say was a lot of these players, they don't understand the information that's given to them. Not yet. I think Xerxes has the frameworks. He has the ability to help us. He's not going to be this player that's going to score like 30 goals, 20 goals a season. That's not the profile. And I knew that when we were signing him. I knew he was going to be a kind of player who fits certain games. It's not every game I'd start Xerxes. If we need to go a little bit more direct, then I wouldn't have Xerxes in there because I think you're just wasting him. You understand? Him in that 10 role, it can work because even though he's not quick, he can run channels. He can run channels, and what that does, it just opens up the space for other players to move in. So then if Bruno's playing in the 8, for example, or Mason Mount's playing in the 8, or even Casemiro can make those late runs. He's moving out, and they just move in. Simple stuff, bro. So I think a lot of people are getting onto Xerxes. We have to look at it in isolation of look at the price tag. The price tag wasn't a lot. So
it was 35 million. I've said this. Get 35 million from him. Yeah, I get you.
And to that, let me go ahead, Neil. Go ahead, my bad.
I was just gonna say, it was 35 million that was amortized over 3 years. So it's not like we paid a lot of big bread for him. He came in with not high expectation compared to someone like Højlund. I just feel like the conversation is a bit different, and I think we know the reason why, you know, but Hoyland came in more than double the price from the same league, less goals than him. And what's the talk? He needs time. He needs this. He needs that. It's never ever going to be the same. So these are just things we have to look at in football and say, like, he's a victim of his own standards in a way. But man, Xerxes, I'm not defending him fully as well. I want to get that point across. He has to do better. You know, for me, I've seen him. He's picking up the ball, yeah, and I'm seeing some of the touches are just flying off him. Like some of the stuffs, the flicks, they're not coming off, and it's like with confidence it will get better. Like I even remember, yeah, when I was younger, bro, man used to play in that position, yeah. Like I was mad tiny, but I was a hold-up striker. Can you imagine, like, bro, man, flipping 5 foot, bro. Like I only grew like when I was older, bro. So I know what Xerxes trying to do, and certain times it won't pull off. Like it won't come off. You know what I mean? The ball is coming to you, your touch isn't there, like, and it's like for a guy with that ability, we shouldn't be seeing these things. But I'm willing to allow him to grow, and now we have a system. He will be used with a purpose. So let's just relax. Let's just relax with him, bro.
Let me say this too. To you Manchester United fans.
Here goes Eddie.
A lot of you motherfuckers make me sick. Point blank period. I won't even sugarcoat it. Let me get this straight. For some of y'all to watch that game and have Xerxes be the first player you bring up out your crust-infested mouth is absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. It's a stinker. We know who the culprits are. We know this. You're going to talk about a brother's 10-minute cameo instead of somebody who played 88 minutes on that pitch. Another brother who played 70 minutes on that pitch. Been doing this shit for time. You're going to figure out a way to fix your lips to say, well, the manager sees the potential in him. He can give him a couple weeks. He'll get used to the system. You can say that for them. Yeah. But for Xerxes, you want to... I cooked... hands up. I cooked Hoyland on the stream for that. I think it was a finish. You said it was a pass. I don't know what the fuck that brother was doing.
Yeah, we don't know what it was. We guess it.
Know. What I do know is this. That brother has more instincts as a striker than Marcus Rashford does. That's clear. Right? So I'm going to be like, okay, you know what? We'll put him to the side. We'll let him just right there. We'll come back and that's another discussion for another time. But to those two scrubs, those two scrubalinis, those two brothers who made that game absolutely unbearable to watch, I see you, and you will not get away with it. I'm moving like the brother in Taken. I have a particular set of skills. I will find you, and I will kill you. Not literally Marcus Rashford and Garnacho, but you get my drift, people. I'm done with them. You can't save those two. Those are our problem. Don't worry about Xerxes. That's the thing that we've been talking about here. Xerxes has all the intangibles to be coached and to adapt to what the coach needs from him. Those other two have created such bad habits for themselves as footballers, they're beyond reproach. They're beyond it. We thought it was bad Garnacho just not running back. Fuck the running back part. He's just not even dribbling well. He's not even dribbling well, and he's a 10. People, we're talking about a 10. When we talk about positions that need a unique tech to just be competent in, 10 is one of them ones you don't play around with it. And this brother was out there doing what he did. That he's cooked. He won't make it in this system, I'm convinced. Because it's not a position for him. He's not a striker. He's not a 10. He's not a wingback. Damn sure ain't a midfielder. Where does he play? Where? That's who you should be talking about.
He plays for someone else. That's where he plays. Play for somebody else.
It's that simple, people. I'm sorry if you're a fan. That game yesterday, that attacking performance, a large part was on him. It was on him. For some reason, maybe you know what, Ipswich was smart and they understood who to funnel our attack to, right? Because when we were playing off the right, everything looked good. I'll give him like Bruno linking to Ahmad and Mazraoui, all of them playing together. Parts of the game, it looked competent. When we went to that left side, Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. So I don't want to hear nothing about Xerxes. I really don't. If the rivals do it, the rivals are doing it because they have an agenda, not because it's based in reality. It's because they have an agenda about United. So I'm gonna say right now, Rashford, Garnacho, absolute world-class stinkers. Learn Chinese, learn Arabic, learn some. Get your Duolingo app up, man. It's not gonna happen for you here.
This brother need to start learning freaking how to speak Bruneian, fam.
Go on there, let's go. You're gonna say, go on.
I just wanted to reply to the guy in the chat, Rasmus Højlund, didn't it? So the only reason, like I'm only giving this attention.
He a troll, but go on.
Yeah, don't take him seriously. Don't take him seriously at all.
Bro, for real.
Yeah. He's holding the ban anyway because he's a troll. But we move. But go on, get to it, man. If you want to, never.
I was that being serious, nah.
He being an Egypt. You know what I'm saying? You're not being serious. Man ain't trying to have an open conversation.
The only thing I was gonna say
is time for that.
With Højlund, like, just people need to understand the talk about Højlund compared to Xerxes. Like, it's mad because Xerxes is the guy you would more want to give time to in terms of what have they done in their career. Xerxes in the Italian league, and these guys came from the same league. If you want to just judge it with stats, Xerxes got better stats than man. I hate talking about stats, but statistically better footballer, like from goals and stuff. Højlund came in with a massive price tag and way less goals than Xerxes. And the talk is, Højlund is the one that we need to give time to. I'm not defending Xerxes in a way of which he hasn't had bad performances. He's come off the bench and looked poor, bro. I'll come out and say it because I hold him to a higher standard than Højlund. I'm looking at Højlund and like I'm praising things that are basics because of his lack of fundamentals. He hasn't got a lot of fundamentals, bro. And it's like AMORIM's gonna have to look at him and think, okay, how can I use him? He can't link up play. He can't link up play consistently. He's 6'3", and he can't head the ball. He has no aerial presence. 6'2", 6'2", 6'3".
Something like that. Yeah, something like around that. Yeah.
Has no aerial presence, no proper aerial presence. No one's scared of him. Physically, he's got good pace. I'll give him that. So being able to run the channels and stuff, I think he'll be alright with that. But physically, he's just getting dashed on the floor. No centre back is looking at Højlund and saying, I'm scared. If you're centre back, you're looking at him and saying, all right, cool. Pace, all I need to do, just hold the line. But link up play, I'm not scared of him. If you're centre back, like if anyone's played centre back, like I've played there as well, the worst players to play against are the likes of the guys that link up play because they link up play and you can't get the ball off them, bro. They put their back to goal and you just can't get the ball off them. They play with minimal touches, and it's like before you can even get to them, they're gone. They've already moved. That's what to do. Xerxes needs to be able to just pop the ball and be a headache, man. Be a proper headache. Like centre backs can't even get near you because by the time they go into press you, the ball's gone. And now they're out of their zone, they're out of their position, they get dragged out and players start moving in. That's how we can use him, bro. That's how we can use him. So this is a guy who came from Bayern Munich. You know what I'm saying? He was at Bayern Munich, young player of the season at Bologna, scoring double figures over 2 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So as a guy with pedigree, we got him for a very low fee in today's market. So people need to relax. I'm not saying don't criticize him. Criticize him, man. That's do what you like. But let's just be fair with the criticism we're giving to one player and then making excuses for another player who's playing in the same team. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I don't like the fact that they're being pitched like against each other type of thing when neither of them are performing. And it's like, oh well, what about? It's always what about isms. But yes, Hoyland has, like you mentioned, has been here a year longer. Also, was more money. But the thing is, people, our attack just sucks. And I was saying this, and I've been saying this. That's the biggest problem. It's the biggest conundrum I think Amorim has with this team is how do you get goals out of it? Because I don't see a trio that works. We spoke earlier about Bruno. I think Bruno just got to get back to box crashing. Forget being in build-up. I think he's just got, like he mentioned about Xerxes getting in the box. One thing we know Bruno can do to an extent is score goals because we need goals. How we're going to get them, I have no idea because there's no trio I look at and go, that's definitely going to create and score goals for us. Not one. There's not one of all the attackers. You look at so you have Maino, you have Diallo, you have Rashford, you have Hoyland, you have Garnacho, you have Mount. I don't trust these men to go out there and score goals. That's where the issue lies. But we see other managers with other players in this league do the business. You know, so that's where it is. You got to get a purple patch out of a couple of these players. Brendan Johnson scored 7 goals in 12 games. Chris Wood has scored 8 goals in 12 games. Figure it out. You have to get a couple purple. Rashford's got 1 goal already. Help Rashford get 3 and 5 in the next what's it called in the Premier League, something like that. Let him have 4 and 6 or be 4 and 7, and another player's like 3 and 6. That's what it has to be. I just mentioned that Brendan Johnson has got 7 goals in 12 games. He has not a 7 goal in a 12-game player, but their system and the way Ange has Spurs playing has helped him. Same way with Chris Wood at Forest. It's the same thing. He's got 8 goals in 12 games. He's not an 8-goal in 12-game striker. He has to do that to an extent. Figure it out. I don't know how he's going to do, but he has to figure it out.
The system would.
Just want to do a mic check. Am I clear now? Am I better? Because I realized I had my webcam mic on instead of this mic.
Yeah. You're clear. You're clear. Go on.
Yeah.
Say what you're going to say. Yeah. Perfect. Clear now. You're clear. Yeah, go on. Oh, Nero, you going to say something?
No, Nero, I'm going to let it land. Nero, I'll let you speak.
To Temedial, before you go to this, I have to ask Amorim and Flawless, how is Rash still in the conversation? Temedial, who else is going to play?
Thank you. Let me answer that.
Who's it? Again, I keep saying, because even when I was back again, and man were talking about the attack, and people were complaining before the game about the lineup. Who was going to play? There was no 11 that he was going to play that I like. All right, Xerxes, I don't trust it. So we're going to play Xerxes, Garnacho. Who was the other one? Bruno. I think it's slightly better. But do I trust it? No. Am I happy about it? No. Where's the outlet? Again, Temedial, to me, there you're comparing not good enough to not good enough. I don't think Rashford's good enough. I don't think Xerxes is good enough. I don't think us starting Xerxes in that game against Ipswich drastically changes the game. Slight improvement, maybe. Maybe. We need improvements and major improvements. I'm not sitting here fighting to play for Xerxes to play. I'm not fighting for none of these men to play. Because I don't think any of them are good enough. Diallo, yeah, exclude him. Diallo, I think so. Maino, I think so. In regards to the front three, when you're talking the 210s and the striker. Yeah. It doesn't matter if there's no outlet. See what we're talking about? It doesn't matter if there's no outlet. If there's no outlet, how are we getting out?
No, but
how are we getting out if there's no outlet?
You don't necessarily obviously an outlet is good. I think you don't have to actually be like a proper outlet, because all it is creating the space. Of course, the players that we have can be an outlet regardless. So players like Rashford, Garnacho, all of those attackers can be an outlet in a way.
Well, and tell me that way. He said combining the box with who? Bruno and Garnacho. Who's he combining with?
But that's the issue. When you get to
who's he linking up with?
When you get to the technical side, bro, you need to
exactly there, bro. Who's he linking up with?
Ten Hag.
He's a link-up player. I agree with that. This is why I'm not completely writing him off, even though I agree with what Kaneki said. Who is he linking up with in that game?
Who had the intelligence to link up with him as well? Because I see two of those outlets, Garnacho and Rashford, have the lowest footballing IQ. So how do you play with football players? I mean, players who have low footballing IQ.
One of our intelligent players.
But before you carry on, Temadayo, Mano couldn't have played because he's just come back from injury, and he played Ahmad at wing back because we had no centre backs on Maserati.
I think people need to understand that it was international duty. A lot of people had to come back. Amrin only worked with a selective player, so you're gonna go and fill the players that you worked with for those 2 training sessions, right? And then you figure out who the scrubs are. Then you make your changes in the next coming weeks. Is that not true?
What we doing? Like, you can't play. Of course, I want. That's why Agate didn't play, even though I wanted to see Agate play. Unfortunately, it had to be Casemiro Eriksson.
Yeah.
And okay, so Temadayo played Bruno, Xerxes, and Ahmad front 3 at Ipswich. Then who plays wing back?
Yeah. Malasha just came back. Certain players just come out from injury. No one else can play wing back apart from maybe Ahmad. And he's already using Maserati and Dalot in different positions. Who would play in that position?
So who plays wing back? If we play Bruno, Xerxes, Ahmad, who plays wing back?
He was the only choice. I think this Thursday game will give us a good indication of where his head is meant, like, when it comes to this lineup, because of what I think we'll be able to do. Again, we only drew with those teams that we drew with because Erik ten Hag was the manager. It's real funny to me that when Ruud van Nistelrooy comes in and just sets us up in a certain kind of way, we get the goals we need, we move on, because the players are that talented that when there's such a big gap in talent, it'll show. Ahmad was clearly the best player on that pitch our last Europa League game, and he had the ability to show that because we didn't give the other team that many opportunities to make us look foolish. And so I think with this lineup going into Thursday, because of the level of competition, I think he'll be a bit more comfortable experimenting with different players and lineups than just going back to what we saw on Sunday. Now, if that's one way he could look at it, or he could want to build chemistry with that group, and he puts them out there and he sees what they can do, and then he has a short leash. That way he can prepare for Sunday again. So when I look at that, the way he's set up, like you said, Flawless, we had players come back from international break. We don't even have that many numbers.
To this. So Anthony wingback then. So okay, do you think then, Temadayo, we progressed the ball well into the fight? Because we couldn't progress the ball with Diallo at right wing back into the final third in the second half with all the possession. So 2 questions. One, do you think we keep the ball as well if we don't have Diallo at wing back and Anthony's there, or you said Bruno at wing back? That's a terrible idea. Or Bruno or whoever. Do we progress? Do we keep 2 questions? Do we keep the ball as well? Do we progress it into the final third? Who's progressing the ball?
Bruno at wing back?
If Bruno or Anthony at wing back, or Amas is over the other side, or Dalot, who's progressing the ball?
People. Bruno,
this is what I'm talking about, man. People just be saying anything.
Bruno at wing back. Who said that?
Yes, don't tell me that. Man, just out here reaching.
Bruno at wing back is crazy, people.
Saying anything. All right, come on, man.
I can hear the Anthony thing. If Anthony is giving a set of instructions to follow and keep it simple, and then you got Diallo in the middle to support him and whatever. But Bruno, that's a howler, man.
The reason why Diallo was important at wing back because he helped us progress the ball.
Yeah, he was the outlet. Yeah.
He's one of our faster players with the ball at feet. Yeah. That's it. Yes. So exactly when he got that first goal, that's exactly what the manager wanted him to do.
To clarify, people, I'm talking solely about the game at Ipswich. I'm not talking about overall. Overall, of course, I want to see Diallo at 10.
Yeah. We all do.
I'm saying Bruno at wing back because he's shy. Why Ahmad at wing back? What makes the attacking wing? What makes your best attack at winger? Progressing the ball, Temadayo. This is why we had 70% of the ball in the second half in large parts because Diallo played there and he's technically secure on the ball. That's why the vast majority of our attacks came down that right-hand side. The vast majority of our build-up came down that right-hand side. It wasn't through Dalot. Dalot's not really too good at that. As the manager said, Dalot used to pass the ball and follow it into the midfield, but I digress, man.
Yeah, the low.
So you think Anthony can progress the ball as well as Diallo? All right, okay.
We've already seen training clips and video clips
right.
of Anthony versus Diallo and
Anthony's
number
as
one.
good as Diallo on the ball now. All right, okay.
But Mande, what do you think of this Diallo
He's
playing right wing back for the
Shit.
time being?
All right.
Because obviously, not everyone can play in that position of the three up front. But Diallo done a good job as a right wing back. I think that could be a position for him for a while. What do you
We
guys
want
think?
him in the 10. I think everybody up here pretty much wants him at the 10.
Absolutely.
It's the problem that we had is that we don't have anybody else who can suffice. Like we don't have anybody else who can do what the manager wants from that position. If people watch this, like go watch the highlights of a sporting match, right? You'll see that a lot of the creative responsibility does rely upon the wingback. And so you have to have somebody there. He has to have somebody there that he trusts. Because it's a very important position for him. Ahmad's practically the only one who can do it at that level. But at the same time, that's just speaking to the quality of Ahmad because he's a better 10. Yes. We all know he's a better 10. But the fact that he can go to wingback and put on that type of performance, he's probably the most trusted by the manager right about now.
Yeah, like that's it. Yeah. Yo, HS nephew, I'm tired of the BS because it's just nonsense. Hey, tell me how you about tonight. Let's have this debate tonight. Let me know. Call in. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you're about 10:30 p.m. UK time. I'm tired of people from the chat. Let's have this debate if you're about. We could do it after the Sporting Arsenal game.
Everybody,
hey, Flawless is moving like Roy Keane. Meet me in the car park. That's what he's basically telling him.
I'm tired. Meet me on the stream. Meet me on the stream. Meet me on the stream. I'm tired of this. Meet me on the stream. Let's just have the debate on the stream. That's the dream. Just like if I call it show. Go on.
I hear it though, but like it's like when people put stuff in the chat. I'm all for it.
Tamidayo, you're my guy because you're here often. Are you about 10:30 p.m. UK tonight after the Sporting Arsenal game, and we can have the debate,
bro? You can turn the camera on in the backstage, so he lets you know you're a real person.
Absolutely. You know? That's it, Don C. Love this energy. Back your chat because I've done this 3 times now, and no one popped up. Not Tamidayo, but others have. You know what I'm saying? All right, yeah, come through. We'll run it. Yeah, my G, we'll run it. We'll run it. We'll run it, man. Straight after the Sporting Arsenal game, we'll run it. I'll set up the stream in a second.
PSG.
No. He
wants to see Arsenal to get.
I need Arsenal. I need the Arsenal pack.
But you know what? The Arsenal pack in the Champions League don't hit different though. Like it don't hit the same.
It does. It hits the same because they never won it, so it's great.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But that's latter stages though. That's latter stages.
Yeah, but I just need them to lose there so they don't finish top 8.
Well, if only Ruben was there, they would have beaten them.
I need them 9. I need them 9.
It's still Ruben's team. So.
Oh yeah, they could easily still lose that. Yeah, tell me that. I'll see you at half-time, man.
Game.
After that Sporting Arsenal game,
5-1 or something.
Yeah, against City.
No, their most recent game they won. They packed another team. I think it might have been a dead team though, but I see like 5-1 or something. 5. I was like, okay, these man still playing still.
No, they getting to it. I think for the manager to do what he's done in such a short period of time. This is what people wanted from us. That's the coldest part, right? Like people wanted us to be patient, wanted us to have some restraint when it came to calling for his job. And already people can't even see what he's putting down, which is the craziest part. So the same people who are wanting us to be patient can't even give us a reason why we should be patient, but we can. That's what I'm talking about, yo. Like, people think we like to come out here and bash players, bash the manager. No, we're going to hold you accountable. It's that simple. Like, we don't want to be out here talking about players the likes of a Rashford or a Garnacho. The easiest way to do that is to get rid.
And Eddie, we have all the rights to hold people accountable because we're consumers. We technically pay to watch them play, and if we don't like the product that we're paying for, the service
we can say that.
We can say that. It's our rights, our God-given rights.
You're entitled to a refund when you buy certain.
Yeah, it's sadly we can't return Rashford back to the factory.
We just don't want to realize that our tax stinks, regardless.
Yeah, we've been saying that.
Like as I've said on this show and said all summer long. I was saying it's well documented of me speaking about this. Now all of a sudden it's an issue in November. Like this wasn't an issue in July.
Keep it
It's been
flawless.
an issue.
Ten Hag, yeah. Like, let's obviously. I don't like talking about this guy. But he thought that this was it.
Yes. Yes.
That man needs to be jailed.
Absolutely.
Bro, he thought this attack, yeah, was gonna take him out the hood, bro. He thought that like this was made by him, co-signed by him, bro.
I think that's what people don't understand. He had the opportunity to change a lot of this, and he chose to enable it. When you gave Rashford that contract, you gave Bruno that captaincy, you gave Shaw that contract. We told him he dug his own grave believing in these players. The good thing is, I don't think this manager does. From his press conference, right? I think it was clear from his interviews, it was clear that he understands the significance of the changes that have to be made for this team to be successful. And who we have to rely upon for our standard performances is a big part of that. Like that it was a great feeling hearing him talk about the problems at this club and all of us at one point in time speaking on those. Can't put that shit into words. Like we told y'all, when it comes to the athletic level of these players compared to the rest of the Premier League, we're not up to par. We told y'all, when it comes to our technical level, we're not up to par. We have not been playing football like Kaneki told y'all for 11 years. But now we have somebody who understands the game at a very high level. And we're seeing that people are shocked. What are you shocked for?
Because people believe.
What are you shocked
That's
for?
right.
It's yeah, bro. It's scary to me. It's scary to me. Like, I can't put into words how happy I am for this manager to be here. I really can't.
Even adding on to what you're saying, sorry, Nero, I like the fact that he kind of, I wouldn't say name drop players, but he spoke about specific players and what they should have been doing better. And he did it in a way that a gaffer should, where the player can't take it too hard, but still give them the confidence of what they need to work on as well. You feel me? So I like that as well.
You start to like that's a great point, Rhino, because you have to contrast it to what we've been going through with how the manager has been addressing certain players and their inefficiencies. So now I hear you. There's always a way. I mean, again, sometimes when it comes to criticism, right? It comes to I've had in basketball specifically, I've had coaches who will cuss me out, call me everything but what my mama named me. Then I have coaches who will sit me down, break and talk to me man to man, and say it in a language that isn't as abrasive or it isn't as direct, but it's still the point gets to where it needs to get to, And so like from the Xerxes thing. Great way to handle it. When he was talking about the players and their mistakes, it's on me. We started getting more time. It's everything that we wanted from our manager. Honestly.
I was just gonna say I like the fact. Same thing what you said, Eddie. To be honest, I like the fact that he's diagnosing the problems. He's telling you what's going wrong, but now you need to solve those problems. In the next game, we can't be having a repeat of the issues that were present in the Ipswich game. Like you can't expect us to hold up the ball when Rashford is in the 9. You can't expect that because that's madness. The definition of insanity. What's the definition, bro? Keep doing things and expecting the same result. So I hope he doesn't fall down that road. And I don't think he will because he understands the game from the way he talks. So, like I said, even the lineup, I'm not too fussed about it. Even if he had started every single player had dinner plate at the club, I'm still gonna allow him time to figure out that these men are not it. Because all it takes is for Garnacho, all of these men to keep performing like that, and then he will start dropping them. If he doesn't drop them, then when I'm concerned.
Saying facts.
I won't hide it. I'll tell you straight away what you do, because if they're not helping the system, it's not even about scoring goals. It's about helping the team. Someone like Garnacho, you need to understand the reason why a lot of people don't rate him is because he breaks down attacks. So does Rashford. He breaks down attacks. Same with Højlund. Breaks down attacks. Same with what's his name? Bruno Fernandes. Breaking down attacks. You can't have so many of those players playing at the same time, breaking down attacks, and then you're wondering why you can't attack properly. Why the attack isn't functioning. Why you're getting like one shot on target every like 20 minutes. You know what I mean? I just need to see us this next game, Bodo Glimt, see us way more, not even offensive, but just when we have the ball, I want to see intelligence. I want to see moving the ball, really trying to open them up, because they're a good team, that Bodo Glimt. Like, obviously they're not like a massive team, but they do have coaches. Like I can't remember one of the coaches' names. He must have left by now. But their man slapped up Jose 6-1, bro, and then they slapped him up again, bro. Like, they're not actually a trash team. So we're gonna
staying with that, Nero. Staying with that. Your scoreline prediction for that game?
Scoreline prediction, it will be a 2-0. I don't think it'll be. I think we'll figure out how to score. Yeah, we won't blow them out, but I think it'll be like a 2-0.
2-0. Rhino, what you saying?
I don't even know nothing about this team. I don't even know nothing. I don't even know if we're at home or away.
Nah, we're at home. We're at home. We're at home.
I don't know nothing about this team.
Bodo Glimt, they are. I tell you just quickly, they are Norwegian team. They're currently top of their league in Norway.
From Norway.
Oh shit!
It should be a comfortable result, man. We should be able to get some goals. I think that will help the team as well, especially progressing this system. So, yeah, man. Yeah, we should be able to easily win 2-3-0, man. And if we're gonna concede maybe 1-3-4-1, we should be able to. Even if it's not a pretty performance, but I think Ruben's definitely going to plug some of the holes, and yeah, I'd love to see how he kind of works on his last game and moves forward still. Yeah.
But Eddie, what you saying?
Give me 3-0. I think we get a lot more out of our attacking situation because he switches it up. And I think
personnel changes.
Yeah, I think because the game wouldn't, like, we don't need to be running the same group out now, especially if, like he said in the interviews and press conferences, that he's trying to figure these players out. What sense does it make him running it back with that same group? Put some new, and again, I'm with people, like, honestly, I would probably go Ahmad, because he has to be the mainstay. Ahmad, Xerxes, Højlund. Run that out there. See what you got. It doesn't look good. Put somebody else like an Anthony. And because again, for me, I'm saying this personally. Like, I want trophies. But I just want, and again, because the way he sets up will be successful. I'm not worried about that, but I just want to see him get to his comfortable 11 as close as he can. Whether that be with Martinez still being out, Manu still not being healthy, whatever it may be. I want him to start to find the players that he can severely trust. I think there's only 3. I think the only 3 that he truly trusts are Onana, Mazraoui, and Ahmad. I think those 3 showed him in the first game I can trust them, right? So yeah, I'd say 3-0. Give me 3-0.
Brian, what you saying?
Obviously, certain scrubs will still play. I expect that to happen on Thursday with a minor changes in the team. But a game against Glint, whatever the fuck, whatever they're called,
Bodo
Bodo
G.
Glint, Bodo G. I expect Manchester United to go out there and beat them 3 goals or 4-0. You know, I expect to see a better system. I expect the players to give us a better performance compared to the game against Ipswich, against Bodo Glimt. 3 or 4-0, no joking about, man. I expect the goals to come.
But Ivorian,
yeah, man.
man, they like to press high, bro. Like,
yo, it's Bodo. If we, I hear that, but they're the Norwegian side. If we don't, you don't move to these man.
It's Ollie's team. It's Ollie's people.
That's
Then
why I want.
no.
That's why I want Belt to ass. So Ollie feel it.
Yeah.
Ollie feel it. That's why I want
So you're
Belt
saying
to
2-0.
feel that shit.
Staying with you, Ivorian. Everton on Sunday.
Everton on Sunday at home at Old Trafford, 2-0.
Eddie?
2-0. 2-0 for sure.
Rhino?
Yeah, I could see it 2-0 as well. 2-0, yeah.
2-0, 2-0.
Maybe.
Nero?
Concede a dumb goal or something.
True say they ain't scored a goal this month in the Prem. It's crazy. Watch their
I
first be against us. Go on.
Like, while we're still learning the system, I don't see us like smoking teams. I could be wrong, but I'll go with like a 1-0, but like a reserved kind of structured performance.
Okay. Anyhow, we're going to be in a +1 goal difference for the first time.
Yeah, man, let's go. The promised land, man. The promised land.
Imagine we're in November. We're saying we're going to be in +1
man,
goal
the
difference.
promised land. But big up to everyone that's locked in. Over 100 of you lot in here. We're 8 short of 100 likes, so get us up to 100 likes. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe to Ivorian's channel. Make sure you subscribe to Rhino's channel. The links are underneath in the description, so subscribe to the ManDem. Hit the notification bell as well. We'll be live on the playback. Make sure you get over to the playback, people. Sarcasm City TV for the Sporting Arsenal game. We'll be over there for that. Then following that, 11:30 p.m. UK time, you will get the Manchester United Arsenal show. You'll get a United Arsenal show, people. So I'll be back with TJ and a special guest, hopefully talking about Arsenal loss, but we'll see. And then NBA tonight. Suns are playing the Lakers tonight. Late one, people. 3 a.m. UK time. That's on the playback. What you saying, Eddie? We do well.
I ain't saying shit. Come through. That's all I got. I ain't saying shit.
Yeah, full of people, man. Purple and gold, man. You already know we've been playing. The Lakers been playing well. Say again, what you say there, bro?
What's Bronny saying? Is he what's
that
Bronny's a sideman. He ain't gonna get minutes.
Yeah, Bronny ain't been playing, man.
No,
Bronny ain't been playing.
What you saying?
He's just there for nepotism.
He's in
the G League. He's just been in the G League. And to Tamadayo, he says, "Can I ask you guys? Are you guys okay with us being accounted our attacking team fundamentally? Because I'm smart enough to know. No, that's not it, and I don't think that's the best.
That's not why we brought him in.
But that's not why we brought him in. But we'll discuss this. Tamadayo, I've already set up the stream. 10:45 p.m. I'll see you there, my guy. You know what I'm saying? The stream's been set up.
Me by the car park,
bro. The stream's there, so pull up, man. You know what I'm saying? Camera on, and let's have this discussion before I do that United Arsenal show. It's there. You know what I'm saying? The stream is set up. It's already there. 1 second. So you lot can see. I'll drop the link in the chat for it as well. So yeah, pull up 10:45 because I got to get on the move before before that stream, so I had to push it back 15. But yeah, 1 second. Let me drop this now. Y'all see it in the chat right there. Boom. Right there in the chat, people. So me, Tamadayo, will be discussing United's a terrible attack.
I love it.
Be right there.
I love it.
It's right there. There's the link, people. So hit the likes, hit the notification bell on that as well. But run up the likes on here. Hit the subscribe button. We're going to redirect. I'm live with rants. But again, subscribe to Rhino's channel. You know what I'm saying? Rhino MGTV. Subscribe to Ivorian's channel. Red United TV. Big up to all the ManDem as well. And quickly, don't forget, this show, all the other shows on the channel are available on all audio platforms. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, etc. But big up. Love to everyone that's locked in. And this has been the ManDemUtd podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Salute.